Once upon a time, there was a small cat named Milo who lived in the countryside. Milo had orange fur and always wore a cute blue scarf. One quiet morning, the sun was waking up, and its soft light shone through the leaves. A gentle wind made the wildflowers dance. Milo walked slowly on a small dirt road. He closed his eyes, smelled the fresh grass, and listened to the birds sing. Under his paws, the flowers were happy. Around him were green fields and old wooden fences. Far away, apple trees full of red fruit moved gently, like they were saying hello. Life in the countryside was peaceful, and Milo loved every simple moment of it. One of Milo's best friends was a kind chicken named Nugget. Every day, she sat on her eggs and cared for them like little treasures. That warm day, under a big apple tree, Milo and Nugget took a nap together. Nugget gently held her nest, and Milo lay beside her, his blue scarf moving in the breeze. The wind was soft. The leaves rustled and birds sang quietly. It was calm and peaceful, just a sweet moment between two good friends. Milo also lived with a kind old cow named Calfee. Every day, when Milo felt hungry or wanted something sweet, he went to see Calfee. Calfee was always happy to give Milo fresh, creamy milk. Milo would purr and say thank you with a big smile. Sometimes, Milo shared his tasty steamed fish and green herbs with Calfee. They sat under the trees, enjoying their food and the quiet countryside. Their friendship was full of care, sharing, and yummy treats. One quiet morning, Milo walked to the little wooden mailbox near his garden. Inside was a yellow letter. A letter for me, Milo meowed in surprise. He opened the envelope and read, "Dear Milo, I hope you're doing well in the countryside. Guess what? My life in the big city is full of lights, tall buildings, and busy streets. I eat delicious food, fried chicken every week. I also have fancy cat milk and yummy cat food. You must visit the city one day. I'll show you everything. It will open your eyes. Luna." Milo sat under the tree, holding the letter close. He smiled. Luna has such a good life in the city, he thought. Fried chicken? Fancy cat milk? I've never tasted those. They must be so good. He looked around at the quiet countryside, the soft grass, the little flowers, the calm wind. He loved his home, but his heart felt curious. Maybe it was time to see what city life was really like. That afternoon, Milo returned to his cozy, tidy room. Golden sunlight streamed through the window, filling the room with a warm glow. Milo began to pack his things. He folded his clothes neatly into his suitcase, and he didn't forget to bring his favorite straw hat. Tomorrow, Milo would leave for the city. The next morning, the sky was clear and the sun gently lit up the fields. Milo wore his favorite straw hat, carried a small suitcase, and smiled happily. It was a special day. The little cat was leaving his countryside home to start a new adventure in the city. Before leaving, Milo came to say goodbye to Nugget the chicken and Calfee, the kind cow. Nugget tilted her head and clucked with joy, while Calfee smiled warmly and watched Milo with gentle eyes. Both friends seemed proud of Milo. They knew this journey would help him grow and learn new things. Milo felt warm inside, no matter where he went. This peaceful field and his dear friends would always feel like home. Milo then got on the bus. It was a long 6-hour ride, one of the few times he had ever gone so far from home. As the green fields slowly disappeared, his heart filled with hope and excitement, especially to see the city and reunite with Luna, his old friend. That afternoon, Milo arrived in the city. He stood in the middle of the street, holding his suitcase. He looked a bit tired, but his eyes kept wandering around. The sky was still bright and sunny. Sunlight shone on the tall buildings, making them look even more beautiful. Milo looked up at the streets and tall buildings and thought to himself, Luna was right. This city is truly beautiful and modern. Finally, Milo and Luna saw each other again after a long time apart. They smiled brightly and couldn't stop talking. The joy in their eyes was clear. The air around them felt warm and happy with laughter and endless stories. There are so many delicious foods here, Luna said excitedly. You know what? I have the best spaghetti at a little restaurant near my place. And I often buy tasty cat milk and canned fish at the local grocery store. You can't find these things back in your hometown. You should totally move here and live with me. Milo listened with a smile, enjoying every word. Feeling more and more curious about this new life, Luna was so excited to share. Finally, Milo arrived at the place where Luna lived. Luna happily pointed at a tall, old apartment building and said, See that building? That's where I live. We'll sleep there tonight. Milo flashed him a gentle smile. He was a bit tired after the long trip, but he was glad to finally have a place to rest. That evening, Milo sat in Luna's bedroom. The first thought that crossed his mind was how different it looked from what he had imagined. The room was old and small, and the moldy walls made it feel even darker. On top of that, the hot air from air conditioner units outside blew in, making the room stuffy and uncomfortable. In his bedroom, Luna invited Milo to try some fried chicken and canned cat food that Luna had excitedly told him about. But to Milo, it didn't look as tasty as the hot steamed fish he used to eat back in his village. He gave it a try, but the cold, strange taste didn't suit him. As they were finishing dinner, a large dog from next door suddenly appeared and snatched the last fried chicken drumstick. Luna explained that the dog often bullied other cats in the building. That night, the two cats curled up in a small, hot, crowded corner of the room, unable to sleep well, still nervous about the unexpected visit. Milo, more than ever, missed his cozy room, quiet days, and kind friends from the village. He longed to go home right away. The next morning, he decided to catch an early bus back. On the way to the station with Luna, the noise and chaos of the city overwhelmed him, cars speeding, horns blaring non-stop. He felt unsafe, his head aching. Once on the bus, Milo turned back and waved at Luna. In his heart, he quietly thanked Luna for all his care and help. Even though he chose to leave, he still felt a little sad that he couldn't stay in the city with Luna, as he once hoped. When the bus reached the edge of his village, Milo stepped off and took a deep breath of fresh air. Waiting at the gate were his best friends, Nugget and Calfee. They didn't say a word, just ran up and hugged him tightly. The three friends laughed together in a wildflower field, as if they had never been apart. That afternoon, they sat under a big apple tree and shared a simple meal, steamed fish with fresh vegetables and a big jug of creamy, fresh milk. To them, it was the best meal in the world. Milo whispered softly, "What I've learned after this journey, happiness is always around us, that sometimes we look too far and forget what's right beside us." For Milo, happiness isn't about fancy food or the busy life in the city. It's about living freely in a peaceful countryside, with fresh air, green grass, and the sound of chickens at noon. But most of all, true happiness is being with close friends, sharing simple meals, laughter, and warm moments together. That's what he calls home, the place where his heart truly belongs. Luna loves the modern city, delicious meals, and the exciting life it brings, and that's perfect for him. But Milo now understands that every heart has its own idea of happiness, and his will always be the quiet village where his friends are waiting with open arms. Thanks for spending time with us. And you, what truly brings you happiness in life? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story.